Now just imagine standing on an ancient battlefield. The fog is hanging low. Thousands of soldiers are waiting silently. Then there's a terrifying metallic roar that echoes across the valley. It's not a dragon, not a monster, an instrument, one designed to make your heart race before the battle even begins. This was the Carnyx, a Celtic war instrument, one of history's most fascinating and intimidating musical instruments, and today we're going to cover everything about it, its design, and its role in battle. Let's go! Now, this instrument was a long Celtic war trumpet that was used between approximately 300 BC and AD 200. Unlike modern trumpets, it stood nearly 6 feet tall, and instead of pointing forward, the bell pointed straight into the sky. But even stranger, the bell was shaped like the head of an animal. Now, this made this instrument truly remarkable because some of the bells resembled like wild boars, wolves, serpents, dragons, and many had movable tongues that rattled as the instrument was played. Celtic craftsmen built the Carnyx from hammered bronze sheets that were carefully formed into cylindrical sections that locked together. It was precision metalwork centuries before modern manufacturing tools. So now you can imagine of what it must have sounded like echoing across the battlefield, and it's no wonder that historians believed it frightened opposing armies. This wasn't music, but it was a weapon of the mind. Now, the Carnyx was played by Celtic tribes throughout Europe, especially the Gauls, Britons, tribes in modern Scotland, tribes in modern France. But these weren't regular just concert musicians. They were warriors, and the Carnyx wasn't entertainment, but it was physical warfare. And Roman historians even described terrible blasts coming from these strange instruments before the battles even began. So we know about the Carnyx partly because the Romans wrote about it. Roman historians describe the horrifying sounds of Celtic battle cries accompanied by their strange towering instruments, and even the Romans, one of history's most formidable armies, took note. So the Carnyx also appeared carved onto ancient coins, depicted on the famous Gutterstrup cauldron, and even shown on Roman victory monuments, which was proof of how iconic this instrument was across the ancient world. And for centuries, the Carnyx was known only through historical descriptions and ancient artwork. But then in 2004, archaeologists in France made an extraordinary discovery. Buried in a ritual deposit, they found the remains of no fewer than 7 Carnyxes, including several remarkably preserved boarhead bells. This was one of the most significant Celtic artifact discoveries in modern history. By using the fragments that were found in Tic-Tac, France, musicians and historians worked together to reconstruct working Carnyxes, and for the first time in over 2,000 years, the ancient roar of this instrument was heard again. Today, surviving Carnyx artifacts and reconstructions are on display in museums across Europe. If you ever visit Edinburgh or travel through France, you can see these incredible instruments up close. And better yet, even today, you can find musicians playing this extraordinary instrument, and they have been found on Etsy and eBay for sale. The Carnyx was more than a musical instrument. It was a statement, and it symbolized power. When they blew those trumpets, everyone knew that the Celts had arrived. It represented tribal identity, leadership, courage. Just as the banners inspired the soldiers, the Carnyx inspired warriors through sound. And even now, 2,000 years later, when a reconstructed Carnyx roars again, you can almost feel what those ancient soldiers felt. That spine-chilling, primal, and unstoppable sound of an age long gone. Learning about the Carnyx reminded me once again that music wasn't always about entertainment. Sometimes music was strategy, sometimes it was communication, and sometimes Music became one of the first psychological weapons in history. So the next time you hear a trumpet, just remember, long before there were marching bands, before orchestras, before jazz, there was another trumpet, and it didn't welcome audiences, it warned enemies. And this Carnyx instrument wasn't just played, it was unleashed. And that's another fascinating story from Beat of Her Drum. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like this video, watch this next video about all the different rare instruments. It's part of a playlist, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, don't miss a